friends, welcome back to playing tribute to Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, where we are going to hopefully get some answers from a fourth personality of our witness, because we may have been thinking, there's not very many witnesses on the stand here for the fourth case of the game. But no, it just appeared that way because there were 4 in 1. As you can see, I'm picking up where I left off, though I did have my DS sleeping for a little bit, so I'm not immediately following what we did last time, so excuse me. Well, actually, maybe I'll remember to look through the evidence for you guys, because I never remember to do that. So let's jump in so that while I'm thinking about it, I do that for us. Whoops, I already did that. Now it's, okay, there we go. We're with Athena. Athena is trying to prove herself, to show that she's not just a newbie. And they're getting, Saki to... Sorry, not Saki. They're getting the sweet buns. Now that the sweet buns have arrived, this court is back in session. Go on, Uendo. Eat up! Nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. That was delicious. Yes, a unique sweetness and the faint aroma of sake. Yet, I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this. What's the matter, Uendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you? I don't know why I did his voice like that. That is not how his voice goes. Or are you scared of how many calories it has? Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... it could never. Less bleating, more eating, witness. Fine, whatever. See? I told you. It don't affect me in the slightest... You might be a lightweight, but come on. Nobody's that light. Seriously, nobody gets drunk off of one little bite. It looks like it worked. Oh my, witness, please tell the court your name and occupation. My name is Owen. I'm 5. You're 5 years old? Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. So he's Uendo's fourth personality. I'd hardly think a child like him could have a motive to murder the victim. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder? Is he 5 because that's how many times, or like how much time Uendo was passed out? So he hasn't had that many quote-unquote years of life? That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak. It seems the defense was hoping the sitting personality would be the real killer. But now that he is standing here before us, it's clear that none of Uendo's personalities can be the killer. Eek! Where can I even go from here? Shisho. Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master? Ah! Come on, buddy. Won't you tell Auntie Athena what happened? Ah! What is scary lady? scary? Look at Auntie's big smile. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please? With sugar on top? Okay. Shisho was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I loved Shisho. Athena, do you sense anything behind his words? I sense a sadness. Sadness so pure it's heartrending. But no discord. Prosecutor Sunmati is right. Owen isn't the killer. Well, we're back at square one. But then, don't you find it odd? Find what odd? Let's review what we've learned so far. Uendo rearranged the Karuta cards to pin the blame on Bucky. Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen. But Owen is only 5 years old and absolutely adores Master Tonido. Exactly. The other three personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards probably wouldn't have been Master Tonido. So then who did it? Defense. Did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out? Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the Karuta cards. But I thought it was the victim, right? No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the Karuta cards on the table was none other than... Is there a fifth one? Nah, I think it was the true killer, because that would be implementing... or implementing, that's not the word that I was looking for. It would be framing, Uendo. But why would the true killer talk about the fourth personality, though? The secret one. Like, did the killer know about the secret personality, but not know what Owen was like? I don't know, this seems weird, but I'm gonna say the true killer, even though it doesn't really make sense. The other two make even less sense. Wet noodle number 3. I believe the person who laid the cards out is the very person who killed Taifu Tonido. How quickly you move on to a new target when your Owen theory proves false. You Pulkinen. I don't know what a Pulkinen is, but I know I'm definitely not one. And before you start with the sermons, why don't you hear me out? Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. But if you are bluffing, I won't go easy on you. I might be bluffing just a little bit. I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Who did the Karuta card's name when the scene was discovered? Let's see. I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Wet. That's right. But we found out that the message originally read Owen 4th. Which implicated the young boy, Owen. Exactly. And the person who rearranged the cards is undoubtedly Uendo. Uendo may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV all but proves it. Oh, I didn't remember to look at the evidence. I'm so sorry. That's okay, we're fine, we're good. We got this. We're on a roll. We don't have much anyway. The reason Uendo rearranged the Karuta cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen 4th message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime. Right on, Prosecutor Blackwell. It would seem that Owen and the other 3 personalities don't share the same memories. Uendo feared that Owen had killed Master Tonido, so he tried to hide Owen from us. But it turns out Owen was but a 5-year-old child, incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master. So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen, who knew about Owen is the question. I see. That does make sense. This is not but conjecture composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who, then, do you maintain murdered the victim? I believe Owen might know something about that. I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent. But... Your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it is time to let it go, and... I saw it. I saw Shisho getting... Owen! You do know something, don't you? Yeah. Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Sunbody? I don't think he agrees. It's all right, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared. I passed out. What? What? This is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Owen, can you tell us anything else about what you saw? I was so scared. So scared. Owen! His emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him. Is he all right? His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away. I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help this poor boy. Will do, Your Honor. I'd better find the cause of this out-of-control emotions. Pronto! He couldn't have possibly seen blood, though, right? Because that wasn't how he was murdered. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared, I passed out. It's the blood that's scaring him, right? It's gotta be. Yeah, blood was dripping down onto Shisho's face. Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood at the crime scene photos. Besides, if the victim was standing upright, how could blood drip down onto his face? As I expected, all we managed to obtain from this child is a tale he dreamt up. I guess it's a little weird for blood to drip onto the victim's face if he was standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something. What do you think, Simon? I don't know. Owen's one confused and upset kid right now, so who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead. Huh? What thing? The thing that you and your cohorts do. Logic? Would you call it rotate your thinking about? Oh, you mean turn your thinking around. Yes, whatever. It's the same thing either way. No, it isn't. Who's ever heard of rotating your thinking? I mean, rotate is... Hey, wait a minute. What? You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate just might work perfectly after all. Come again. All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. When he saw his master, Owen must have been... lying on the floor to see his master standing up if his master was lying on the floor. Doing a handstand. Yeah, it would have to be. Lying on the floor. Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder. What? That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotate my thinking 90 degrees, which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees. And... this means Master Tonido was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery.
And which mystery is that?
The mystery of how blood could have been dripping onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could have happened if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tonido from somewhere up above him. Did he attack someone? I remember now someone was sitting up on top of Shisho. Okay, there we go. So trying to recall his master's bloody killer is what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from a person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back. This means his assailant was injured on their face somewhere, like the forehead, perhaps. Assuming the victim and his attacker were face to face, then yes. I see. So that's what happened. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a fresh bandage on his forehead. Does he not? Oh, shoot, he does. Oh, that backfired very quickly. Oh, dear. That injury of Mr. Wett's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder. Why? It seems you've dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of. No. Even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out-of-control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now? What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you? That looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had both motive and opportunity. Plus, he has the injury on his forehead. Your Honor, I sense the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on. Oh, shut up.
Well, Miss Sykes, I understand that you don't want to give up on your client, but I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason.
Well, that lawyer did her best, but all the signs point to the defendant's guilt. Maybe it's time she gave up. She tried everything she could. I really don't want to back down, but...
Silence.
Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence? I wouldn't say that. It's just... Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning? That I would believe in him? To the very end? Yep. Exactly.
Are those just empty words?
Of course not. It's just that all the cards are stacked up against us.
Are you still stuck on that line of thinking?
Oh, hello.
Motive, opportunity, and an injury to his forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again, who are you to Bucky?
I'm his Ms. Chickadee lawyer.
Then do your duty and believe in him until the very end.
I will. Simon's absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer, and he's depending on me.
Defense team, please, no fighting in my courtroom.
The defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackwell was just giving me a pep talk, that's all. Thank you, Prosecutor.
I didn't do it for your sake. I did it for the future of Wetsoba.
Yeah, I got it. The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session.
Owen, would you be alright with that?
Okay. So somebody was sitting on top of Shisho, bleeding from their head, and smishing something into Shisho's face. That's funny.
What is it?
I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony itself, either.
Oh, so that's it, huh?
Did you figure something out?
Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. But there's actually something he's been very vague about in his testimony. If you can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence, you should be able to move forward from there.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll just update the moon matrix with the new information and we'll be ready to go. So I just need to present some evidence on what Owen is being vague about, huh? He's being vague about the murder weapon and the person. She showed blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smooshing something into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared. I passed out. Oh, I noticed the transition. That's why I went back to that. Okay, he's being vague about the murder weapon. So what did he squish? What was squished into his face? I do feel like that looks like plastic wrap. Or the pillow. Could have been suffocated with a pillow.
Objection!
Oh, thank goodness I was right. Let's put a name to the thing Owen's uncertain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spy the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo. Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. Pray tell, where is this murder weapon, you see? You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. Oh, okay, it is. It's the noodle dough. I was thinking of that too, and I'm like, no, but you can't see the noodle dough in the picture, so it can't be that. But no, apparently it is, because Athena's saying that. It doesn't look the way it did as it used to whenever it was a weapon. Somebody finished making the noodles. Makes me wonder if the sauce was even the sauce at all, or the broth at all. Mystery person Owen saw press soba into the victim's face, thereby suffocating him. I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate soba? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into someone's face. Yes, I agree. Well, I disagree. There's a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim. What? You will explain your theory at once, Miss Sykes. To kill Master Tonido, the culprit must have smothered him with uncut soba dough. Yeah. There it is. The culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon was raw soba dough. What? Also, it explains why there's no blood seen at the crime. There's blood seen at the scene of the crime. Because it would have been cooked. But again, I'm wondering whether the broth was actually broth or was it blood. Order. Order in the court. Yeah, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it? Are you alright, Prosecutor Sabati? I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice thanks to the foolish lawyer before me. Again? Huh? What are you talking about? Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife. The weapon he used to suffocate the victim was the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of his murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles. Why, you smarmy! It is interesting to see how they interact. Like how a prosecutor interacts with another prosecutor. Afterwards, the accused put the victim's face into a bowl of soba noodles and broth to wash off the blood that had dripped into the victim's face from his own. And there you have it, the true sequence of events behind this foul affair. Now wait just a minute. I never once said that Mr. Wet was the culprit. Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles' defense? That's a very good point, Prosecutor Samadi. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. But then, what about the dying message?
How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about Yuendo's Owen personality. Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards and they hold no other meaning. Perhaps it spelled out Owen's name in jest sometime before his murder. That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Tenaido cared for the boy. It appears we have arrived at a compelling conclusion. Taken together, all of these points paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt.
Owen, is there anything else you can tell us? It doesn't matter how small of a detail, anything will do. You're scaring me. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. I have to be gentler with him. I can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember. Well, when I woke up, this person who killed Shisha was standing over me, bleeding from their head. Owen, you saw the killer's face? Oops, I did it again. So, who was it, Owen? Do you remember? I don't know who it was. I'm picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony. I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice it to say we are analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, defense. Let it go and move on. No! There's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here.
Owen, do you think you can continue your testimony for us?
Okay. I'll enter the new info and run an update then. Okay, so the murderer was standing over him. So, knowing how these things usually go, and who we've met so far, I'm gonna be fully transparent here, because I'm not guessing based off of past knowledge of this case, because I know nothing. But I am suspecting the girl, because she's the only one left, who's a witness. I'm suspecting that the wound is on her nose, because her nose was covered by the clown nose. But Simon was saying something about seeing her out with the dog, and she didn't have her nose on there. So you'd think that he would have mentioned something about it, about a cut on her nose. I'm not sure. So that's where I'm standing right now, trying to find that information. What's the happiness? Why are you happy? Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling. One of relief? The person the witness saw was no stranger, rather it was the accused. Therefore, it's only natural that he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Defense, end this madness and sully your soul no more. Owen, who did you see? Nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume. Ah, perfume. Now we're getting somewhere. I need to silence my phone. Perfume. It's the smell of... You can do it. Try to remember, Owen. The smell of... Oh dear. He's gone. Owen! Darn. Interesting that when he passes out, his other personalities don't come in, though. Oh. Sorry, I didn't read that. Seems Owen is now resting in the infirmary. They certainly have their hands full today down there. Let's continue with the trial. How are we going to continue without the witness? Despite Owen's testimony, it is the opinion of this humble servant of the Holy Mother that the child's words were insufficient to clear the accused's suspicion. But what about the scent of perfume Owen mentioned?
I believe it's a clue that will lead us to the true culprit. But there are thousands of perfumes in the world. It could even be the scent of the hair product the accused uses. He does have one amazing hairstyle, so that's certainly possible. The witness is a 5-year-old boy. He cannot tell the difference between conventional perfumes and hair products. Why couldn't you have gone for a crew cut or something, Bucky? What's more, the only person who can cut soba noodles with such precision is the accused, and no other. Oh man, how am I supposed to argue with that? And so, the person Owen saw at the scene of the crime can only be the accused, Bucky Wet. Who said hold it? What the? Oh, hi, Bucky. Hey. I never use hair products or anything with a smell. If I wear something like that, a smell get into soba. Boom, check it. Mr. Wet, aren't you supposed to be resting in the infirmary? Whatever. You think I'd let my soba stink of perfume? Try that chilled soba for yourself and see. I believe we have no choice but to try it. Strictly for examination purposes, of course. Now then, let's dig in, shall we? Oh, they actually had the sound effect there. That was delightful. Well, I'm satisfied that there are no traces of hair products or perfumes in Mr. Wet's soba. First, sweet bean buns, and now savory soba. What a delectable trial this has been. This texture is different from the soba I had the other day. It reminds me of a dish we have in Korean called banupun. What you think, Miss Chickadee? My soba is pretty good, isn't it? It's delicious! Don't you think so, Simon? It still pales in comparison to his late father's cuisine. So, Simon, why are you always gonna be so hard on me? Bailiff, take the defendant back to the infirmary at once for some rest. Rushed! I ain't no lump of plain old weedy Don Joe, you know. I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba dough rush. It's about the 3 freshes of soba. Grind the seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles fresh. Yeah, I keep thinking that's gonna come up. Good grief. Oh, what a defendant. At least Bucky wasn't the source of the perfume smell. Wait, smelly perfume. Looks like you remembered something. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of a certain somebody. Oh, and who might that be? There's only one person that comes to mind. Really? Did she mention smelly perfume? It's the only other person it could be. It's gotta be her, right? Because it's the only other person it could be. I don't remember her mentioning smelly perfume, though. Giru Tonaido? Yes, she did smell very nice, didn't she? Give me a flashback, please. Just a moment, defense. You would throw suspicion on Giru now because of a scent. Your Honor, there's no need to go along with these ever-changing claims of the defense. I suppose their claims have been awfully inconsistent. But Giru could have been at the crime scene. Yes, but... You don't get to see those balloons of hers. Oh my gosh. How vulgar. You know what? For once I agree with you, Nayuda. Just... yeah. I do believe it's appropriate to ask Yuri some questions, given the circumstances. This has nothing to do with their balloons, of course. Thank you, Your Honor! Polkunka. Polkunka indeed. Now, she also has bangs, so I guess that could have hid her, any scratch. Thank you for calling this disciple of Tonaido's School of Rakugo back for an encore. It's me, the balloon artist you all knew and love, Giru Tonaido. 1, 2, balloon. Oh, brother. Oh, Your Honor, please. You're the one who... You asked for it, Athena. Now then, what would you like me to make for you this time? Actually, I called you back for more testimony. But I'm all talked out. This case has left me completely deflated. What? You didn't find that funny? Anyway, what exactly is going on, Simon? It seems the person who murdered Master Tonaido was wearing perfume. And you were the only person I could think of who wears perfume. Wait, you mean I'm a suspect now? Giru, you knew about Owen, right? Well, yes, I often played with him at Shisho's request. So that means you could have left that fake dying message, right? What? Just because I wear perfume and know Owen? You think I'm a murderer? Oh, how could you? The witness is absolutely right. With no evidence but the distorted memories of a small child. It is outrageous for the defense to accuse this woman. That's right, you don't even have any proof. You may step down from the stand, Giru. The defense does not have one scrap of evidence that connects you to the crime. Wait just a minute! I may not have proof, but Owen's testimony is still... enough. Please feel free to leave, Giru. But I'm so close. There must be something I can do. Well, if the prosecutor says it's okay, then I guess I'll be going now.
Silence.
Oi, Giru. You're an entertainer, aren't you? Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performances or not. So what are you doing, leaving halfway through? Ah, there it is. It is on her forehead. There's a bandage on Giru's forehead! And since we know that Master Tonaido's killer has a cut on her face somewhere... impossible. How did you know, Simon? I didn't, but I had to take a chance to see for myself. Otherwise, your theory would remain a groundless accusation. Your Honor! Prosecutor Sadmati! The scent of perfume, an injury on the forehead. These things are completely consistent with Owen's testimony. In short, the mysterious individual Owen saw in the dressing room could have been Giru. Miss Sykes. Does this mean you are formally indicting this witness for the murder of Taifu Tonaido? Should your accusation prove to be false, I hope you are prepared to pay the price in full. Simon, what price is he talking about? I thought that should be obvious. Prosecutor Sandmonk is saying he'll see to it that you never stand in a court of law again. I must say, though, he knows how to make a trial interesting. Just whose side are you on, Simon? Go on, then. Into the deep with you. You really have but one choice anyway. Well, Miss Sykes, I'm waiting. With regards to the witness, Giru Tonaido, the defense wishes to... There's no reason for me to hold back, not if I really believe in my client. The defense wishes to formally indict Giru Tonaido for the murder of Taifu Tonaido. I have tried to be merciful, but now not even your pleas will reach the Holy Mother's ears. You will have plenty of time to regret your decision. In the pit. Except I won't need to. The person who murdered the victim was not Mr. Wet. It was Giru Tonaido. That bandage is just from the silly slip-up I made while cooking yesterday, that's all. Cooking, yeah. What kind of extreme cooking were you doing to cut yourself in the forehead? Well, what can I say? That's what happened. Yeah, cooking the noodles to cover up the crime. You also don't have an alibi for the period before 4 p.m., do you, Giru? But I really didn't know anything was wrong until Shisho was found dead. If you don't believe me, then with a twisty twist twist... And Balloon! There you have it! An adorable little kitty!
How could you suspect a cutesy little balloon artist like me, hmm? Guru, I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but could it be that you don't have an eye for balloon art? I will say that that doesn't look like a cat. Don't you think I know that? You didn't have to come out and say it. I'm the daughter of a great Rakugo artist. I never wanted to do a stupid balloon art. I was supposed to be a Rakugo storyteller too, just like my late daddy. But Shisho told me that balloon art instead. I guess the victim thought she had no talent for Rakugo artist either. So you're still gonna suspect a poor little thing like me? But please stop trying to skirt the issue. It all comes down to the scent of perfume and the cut on your forehead. You and the culprit in Owen's testimony share these two traits. You're dead set on accusing me, aren't you? Well, here's what I have for naughty little girls like you, with a twisty twist twist. A sword? Oh, her persona changed. Man, we thought the multiple personalities guy was bad. Oh my gosh. I'ma cut you, witch! Go ahead, make me testify all you want. When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it? Oh my, is this yet another hidden personality? Simon, is everybody in the Tonaido school like this? How should I know? Yeah, I visited the dressing room during that time to make a courtesy call after my act. Shisho and Owen were in there, but they were both snoring up a storm. I saw the note Shisho left, so I just left. Didn't want to disturb him, you know? The perfume Owen smelled must have been left over from when I visited. The note. So, Giru's saying she went to the dressing room, but then left right away. Don't take her at her word. Come on, do you really think I would? I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to talk about what really happened. Now then, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your cross-examination. A courtesy call after your performance, huh? Come to think of it, Uendo mentioned making the same kind of visit. Yeah, a visit to your master before and after your routine. That's just common courtesy with those Rakugo artists and entertainers. So that means you paid the victim a courtesy call before your performance too, right? What did you see that time? He was having a drink and getting himself into a festive mood. He liked to say that drinking gave him a silver tongue. So he was already drinking by then. Uendo wasn't in there in the dressing room yet at the time. He must have gone out there during my act, because when I went back... Hold on, I just want to double check something. Guru would perform her balloon act, then Uendo was going to do her silver glutton. And then okay. Right. Could you describe how they appeared? They were both stretched out on the floor, snoozing away. So sitting the victim up and over the table must have been the culprit's doing. After all, who wouldn't stretch out on the floor if they could take a nap? Plus that matches up with what Owen said in his testimony. But if he was asleep, how could you tell it was Owen? How'd you know it wasn't Uendo? I've known the guy for ages. One look at his face and you know which one I'm dealing with. I see. Where did you find your master's note? I don't know, can't remember. Did you notice anything else unusual or out of place in the room? Well, there was the sake and half-eaten manji on the table. But I didn't see anything else out of place or whatever in the room, though. Oh, is that a fact? Of course it is, what do you think? You didn't change anything around while you were in there. The TV. I didn't do anything. Look, I'm telling you. I didn't see anything funny near Shisho, and I didn't touch anything in the room. Your baldness, I request that that statement be added to Guru's testimony. Because the TV would have been on the other side by then? No, because that's its usual spot. He moved it. Two drink cans in the fridge. TV can be used to monitor. Simon! What's a statement like that's going to do for us? Just play along and you'll see soon enough. I have no problem with adding that to the testimony, but how about you, Miss Sykes? I have no problem with it either, Your Honor. What is Simon thinking? More information is always better. So I just want to confirm. You didn't see anything at all unusual or out of place anywhere around the victim? I already told you nothing. And you didn't touch anything at all in the dressing room. How many times I gotta say it? No, I didn't touch anything. Wait, but then is she saying she didn't see what Uendo immediately saw when he checked the victim's body? The cards? Does that mean it wasn't there yet at the time? The cards. Oh, hold on. I guess there was something. What is it? The soba making equipment was already there in the room. It means Bucky must have been in there in the dressing room before me, doing something. Thanks for the non-help. Well, a new statement has been added. But she's still sticking to her guns. She said she didn't see anything unusual in the dressing room. That strikes me as a little strange on its own. Why indeed? Master Tonaido really is the one who left that. I think Guru would have noticed it. The message. The cards. But... Is it talking about the cards? If she's gonna, if we're calling that funny.
Objection!
Giru, you said that you didn't notice anything odd or unusual near your master. You also said you didn't touch anything in the dressing room. That's right. What about it? Then I wonder who left that dying message with the Karuta cards. What are you going on about? It had to have been that Bucky. Sorry, but that's not possible. Because only 3 people knew of Uendo's personalities. Uendo, your master, and you. If Bucky had left that Karuta message, he wouldn't have spelled out Owen. He would have spelled out Uendo. What it boils down to is this. As a member of the Tonaido school, you, Guru Tonaido, are the only one who could have left that dying message. And as the person who left that message, it's clear that you are Master Tonaido's killer. Oh, you ever quit your yapping? You are like wretches clinging to the spider thread of salvation. Allow me to cut that holy thread from the heavens and bring you back down to earth. Would you quit butting in whenever things start to go my way? Silence, child. Playtime is over. What did you just say? As the witness stated, she went into the dressing room and soon came back out again, but the victim's note was not the only reason she left with such haste. There was another reason that compelled Guru to leave at once. Guru, would you please relate said reason to the court? There was a reason why Guru had to leave the dressing room? Well, I didn't want to show you this, but I guess I got no choice. Keep your eyes peeled, because here it comes. Your hand is all swollen and red. What happened, Guru? If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat.
and that's what the noodles are made out of. Oh no.
What? So why would she use that to smush into his face? Ugh. Curse you, Sadmati.
Allergic reactions to buckwheat can vary, though they are usually on the severe side. With Typhoon tonight, I'm making soba noodles in his dressing room. Kiru is lucky to still be alive, considering all the soba flour that is swirling in the air.
Good thing I left pretty quick. I managed to escape with just a mild reaction. But I touched Shisho as he was being carried away, and look what it did to my poor hands. Or did you touch him as he was being carried away so that you could make that excuse of why your hands are like that? Because you used the flour to suffocate him. Must have been soba broth on his clothes or something. If I'd inhaled any of that soba flour, I'd have had a seizure, and it'd be good night, Giru. Never could have stayed in that dressing room for very long.
A person allergic to buckwheat couldn't be in a room with soba flour in the air, and certainly couldn't use soba dough as a murder weapon either.
This isn't good.
You knew it would come to this, didn't you? That's why you never mentioned her allergy. As if I would do anything so underhanded. I was simply trying to protect the privacy of this witness.
Like heck. I'm sick of all these accusations. Why don't I just testify and get it all out in the open, yeah? She's wearing gloves. I don't know. If I come into the slightest contact with buckwheat, I get an allergic reaction. And with that much soba and flour in the air, that room could have literally killed me. Look at my hand. Just touching Shisho's body caused this much damage. There must have been soba broth on his clothes. So I never could have committed that murder in the dressing room. I still can't believe it. Nobody told me she had a soba allergy. Did you know, Simon? Does it look like I knew?
Protect the privacy of the witness, my foot. What a dirty trick.
Now what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. Prosecutor Sadmonk to shame with your cross-examination.
Right. No matter how small, I'll find us an opening and break her testimony down. Press everything. You're not lying about the soba allergy of yours, right? Of course not. I swear on the grave of my father up in heaven. I can even get you a doctor's certificate if you want. She seems to be telling the truth. I've had this allergy for as long as I can remember. But I never dreamt in a million years I'd clear me of murder.
And you'll come out of this smelling like a delicate buckwheat flour to boot.
Well said, Your Honor. I'll give you that there was quite a bit of flour scattered about in that dressing room. But you went to pay your respects to your master regardless, right? Yeah, but like I said, I came right back out. I mean, the soba-making tools were right there. You better believe I was careful not to breathe any of it in. But you still could have committed this crime if you'd held your breath while doing it. Don't be ridiculous. I would have suffocated to death before Shisho did. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeesh. Get a grip, will ya? Maybe there's a twist here. Like, you're actually allergic to dogs and not soba. You kidding? Bring my little Jigamoo in here. I'd hug and squeeze him like there's no tomorrow. I'm telling you, I have a genuine, honest-to-goodness soba allergy.
Defense, the witness clearly has an authentic allergy to buckwheat. Any further deliberation on the matter will be meaningless, pointless, worthless.
You heard the man, lawyer girl. All right, fine. I was just starting to think the same thing myself. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. I probably got this allergic reaction on my hand because I touched Shisho. I have a question about that, actually. If you're allergic to soba, does that mean you're allergic to the noodle broth too? Well, the buckwheat from the noodle can dissolve into the broth, so duh. Touching soba broth can be just as deadly for me. Don't you know anything? What an amateur. I'm sorry. Do I look like a doctor to you? Look, anything that has soba in it, or anything that has touched soba, is like poison to me. So I just want to cover all my bases, but could the murder have possibly occurred somewhere other than the dresser? That's as out of the question. By even asking, you show your complete disregard for all we have discussed until now. Yes, I have to agree. The defense can't go around suggesting new premises without basis. Unfortunately for you, Shisho didn't take a single step from his dressing room around the time of the murder. Well, that is unfortunate for everyone. Kiru could not have possibly committed this crime at a room where soba was being made. Finally, the time has come for the last rites of the victim to begin. What would Mr. Wright do at a time like this? Logic? Of gates! There's only one thing to do! What are you smiling about? Has the pressure overwhelmed you? Nope! It's just the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I see, you have no rebuttal, and so the only thing left to you is to smile. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's where you're wrong. I do have a rebuttal. Here it is. Turn your thinking around, Athena. Don't try to figure out how Giru, who is allergic to soba, could commit the crime. Figure out how Giru could be in that room and not have an allergic reaction instead. Oh. Regular photo? Huh. Gave me a lot of random information there that I don't know how it connects. Mon Dieu! What if that certain piece of evidence doesn't mean what we think it means? Oh! Oh, I see! I see. It is the regular dough. The regular dough was resting! If that's the case, I might be able to prove that Giru could have committed this crime. No matter how hard you search your mind, you cannot overturn facts. Well, Miss Sykes, if you have no further objections, I'll hand down my ruling. True. I can't overturn facts, but what if we got our facts about a piece of evidence wrong? Got our facts wrong? What are you talking about now? And which piece of evidence do you mean, Miss Sykes? Please point it out to this court. This evidence proves that Giru could have killed our master, even with her soba allergy. Take that! It's Master Tonaido's note. The note. Preposterous. What possible connection could there be between the witness's allergy and that note? The answer lies in the true meaning of this note. Its true meaning? This note does not mean I am resting do not disturb, as we had assumed. But rather, it actually means this dough is resting, do not disturb it. Wait a minute, Athena, that doesn't make any sense. You're right, it doesn't. After all, as Bucky told us many a time, you don't let soba dough rest. What's all this jibber-jabber got to do with anything? This is it. The home stretch. This note and Mr. Wet's word have led me to the conclusion that Master Tonido... The victim, Taifu Tonido, was not making buckwheat noodles. He was making ordinary udon noodles instead. Kunka. That layer of flour in the dressing room wasn't soba flour, but plain old wheat flour for udon. So actually, it was totally possible for Giru to be in that room and kill her master. What? But if that's true, it changes everything. Your Honor, the defense requests that the flour in the room be tested immediately, and wonders why it wasn't already. But soba noodles were found in the bowl, and Giru did not have... But soba noodles were found in the bowl, and Giru did have a reaction in her hand. How do you explain those things? Well... Even were it udon flour instead of soba, you still cannot prove Giru committed the crime. But... Don't lose your momentum now, Athena. There it is. Don't lose your nerve now. Keep charging forward, and you'll feel the blade of my... Wow. Keep charging forward, or you'll feel my blade at your back. Enough with the threats already. I got it. Talk about pressure. All right, Athena. Take a deep breath and go over everything again. There it is. I've been waiting for this logic moment. We're in the home stretch, guys. I'm going to revisualize the case from start to finish. I have to find conclusive evidence that Giru committed this murder. What was Master Tonido making in his dressing room? Udon. I love how it gave me 3 choices. By my logic, Master Tonido must have been making udon noodles in his dressing room, but something at the crime scene indicates otherwise. The noodles in the bowl. Again, the 3 choices. What we just went over. Okay. There was soba in the bowl. But Bucky was there, so I think he delivered the noodles. Anyway. Even though the master wasn't making soba noodles were found at the scene. So that means the noodles had to have come from somewhere. Wait a minute. One mysterious serving of soba noodles? That sounds familiar. Where did the soba in the bowl on the table come from? Oh, the master soba stock. That's right. I forgot that he had that. Giru made it. Soba was from the master soba stock. The soba noodles found at the scene were from this master's stock of uncooked noodles. But then why would the culprit go out of her way to cook that soba and put it in the bowl? To hide the udon. To make it look like it was soba so that she could be seen innocent. Soba was found at the scene. So that means the culprit must have taken the udon with her to hide it. Why did the culprit take the udon away and hide it? It must have been because she killed him with the udon dough. Has a grudge against udon. I love the random choices they have. It's like they don't even try to make it hard. Yep, yeah, that was clear. That's it. The udon dough was the real weapon used to kill Taifu Tonido. And the reason why no weapon was found is because Giru got rid of the dough somehow. The real murder weapon was the udon dough the victim made. If we can find this dough, that'll prove my theory correct. And undeniably prove Giru's guilt. Even if we could find this dough, what makes you think that it would prove she's the one? Please recall Owen's eyewitness testimony, Prosecutor Sanmati. The injury on Giru's forehead was caused by the victim's knife. Then Giru's blood must have dripped down onto the dough used as the murder weapon. That would make the dough pretty conclusive evidence, wouldn't you agree? But where is this conclusive evidence? Let us hear your theory on where this murder weapon is. Well, if I can't find the answer to the evidence I have on hand, we'll lose this trial. How did Giru get rid of the udon dough? Think, Athena. What do I have that Oh, I knew it would come back to it. I just didn't know when it would, how it would be important. But we have it. We know exactly where the evidence is. Do you know where the evidence is?
What do I have that points to suspicious behavior on Guru's part? Nothing, Miss Sykes. Let's hear your answer. Where's the real murder weapon hidden? Nice barking you did there. I assume you have a bite to back it up. And, just in case I didn't, that was a nice clue. Thank you. Thank you, game. I had it, though, but thank you, game. Stop distracting me, especially not right now. This piece of evidence can point us to the location of the hidden murder weapon. That was subtle, though. I appreciated that they did that. It's Simon's testimony, I think. Yes. Does it say what she fed him? Dumplings, okay. Giru? Huh? What is it? I'm just an innocent girl. I don't know anything about murder. Stuff that cute act in your balloon hat. Giru got rid of the dough she used to kill Master Tonido in a bold and daring way. She did it right in front of Prosecutor Blackwell's nose, by feeding it to her dog. No, I... Of course, now it all makes sense. I was puzzled as to why Giru, who should know her own dog's eating habits, would feed Jigmu more than he could possibly finish. Your Honor, please order an investigation of the yard right now. And what should the police at the theater be looking for exactly? Jigmu must have buried his leftover dumplings somewhere around the doghouse. Dumplings that Giru made out of the udon dough with her blood on it. In it. Ah! This is preposterous. I want to thank you, Simon. If you hadn't kept me going, I might have given up along the way. What are you blathering on about? You still have work to do. Now, by your hand, finish this wretched case off, Athena. You got it! Giru, do you remember what you said would happen when the truth is finally revealed? Ah, right, yes. I do remember her saying that. I guess her balloon is going pop. Well, now the truth's out, and looks to me like it's your balloon that goes pop. He's got to stop doing that to his beads. It happens every time, man. Volkunga. I'm a Rakugo artist. I was the one who was supposed to inherit that name. But then, Shisho. Oh, her nose is a balloon, too. Why are my balloons bursting? Danny, are you mad at me? I've been a bad girl. Yeah, I think I saw that one coming, actually. Oh. Oh. Are you ready to tell us everything now, Giru? The whole reason I entered the world of Rakugo in the first place was to follow in my father's wonderful footsteps and inherit his stage name. His stage name? You don't mean Uendo Tonido. I knew I wasn't very good at storytelling, but I thought that if I did the stupid balloon thing like Shisho wanted, I'd inherit the name someday. Then Master Tonido gave the name to his junior disciple. Yeah, that's why I took my revenge on Shisho during the show celebrating the name succession. So that was your entire motive? I doubt anybody else could understand, but inheriting my father's name was everything to me. It was my whole reason for living. Of all the days you could have taken your revenge, why did you choose the day of the show? Because I wanted to pay Uendo back for stealing what was rightfully mine. I wanted to pin the blame on him at the show where all the Tonido fans were gathered. But then Uendo tried to shift the blame onto Bucky Wet. And now we know the whole story. There's just one more thing I want to know. Did you know Master Tonido was making udon in his dressing room yesterday? No, I didn't. When I saw the soba making tools, I was worried about my allergy. But it was my only chance to get the revenge on the two of them, so I went ahead and did it. So it was a premeditated crime, but in the end, you only went through with it on impulse.
Heck of a time for my recording to go off like that again. I think I have too many episodes loaded up. I have to free my space on my computer. I think it's just not wanting to go past a certain time. So sorry about that. Let's continue this summarization of the case at hand, shall we? Then the allergic reaction on your hand.
Is it from touching the soba in the refrigerator with your bare hands? When you were tampering with the crime scene after your master's death?
Oh, right, because we thought it was weird that there was nothing in the refrigerator.
Yeah. By that time, I wasn't clear-headed enough to worry about my allergy. Giru, how could you do all this? You idiot. Giru, I get your desire to inherit your father's name. But what you really should have inherited from him wasn't his name, but his heart.
His heart?
Do you have anything to add, Prosecutor Sunmati? Any objections? No, Your Honor.
He still has his necklace, though. He keeps replacing them like crazy.
Miss Athena Sykes.
Yes? That's the first time he's used my name.
I shall. Be sure to remember your name.
Thanks? Really?
Seems he finally recognizes you as a proper adversary.
Thanks. That's all I ask, Prosecutor Samadi.
It looks like there are no further objections. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Ah, good. It seems you have made a full recovery. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Bucky Wet, not guilty.
Yay! Applause, confetti, cheers. Woohoo! Happiness, joy, smiles all around. Yay.
This court is adjourned.
Congratulations, Bucky! I'm so glad you were found innocent.
Thanks for everything, Ms. Jiggedy.
It still stinks that you were accused of a crime you didn't commit. Did I say submit? Did Uendo have it out for you or something?
I don't think so. Uendo said it was a spur-of-the-moment idea he got when he saw the soba-themed cards.
Simon, where have you been?
I stopped in at Uendo's questioning. Only you, Bucky, could get framed for a crime on a whim.
No way. I almost got convicted out of convenience. Well, at least you've been completely cleared of all charges, so buck up, Bucky. On a more important note, what I really want to know is, why didn't Master Tonido let Giru inherit her father's name?
What do you mean on a more important note, Miss Jiggedy?
Well, don't be such a wet blanket. Just go with the flow. Now, come on. You think that the Master was trying to encourage her to quit the entertainment business?
No, that's not it. He didn't give the name to her because he wanted Giru to find her own calling in life. To perform whatever she wanted without being bound by her father's name or Rakugo. Making udon was his way of showing his support for her in her new endeavor.
So that's why he called you to the theater, huh? To teach him how to make udon?
A more roundabout way I've never seen, but that's Master Tonido for you.
So this entire incident happened because of a misunderstanding? How sad.
By the way, Giru wasn't the only person Master Tonido was trying to cheer on. Even though the person in question still seems unaware of the Master's intentions.
What, you talking about me?
Come on, no way. All that old man ever did was criticize my soba.
It's not true, Bucky. There must be a way to make Bucky see just how much Master Tonido cared about him. Is it the deed? Sorry, I always like to save it just in case I'm wrong. Because we didn't really use it at all. Who's holding on to it for him? Take a good look, Bucky. Whose name is on there as the holder of this title deed? It's still my name. Master Tonido was just one of his tricks when he said he stole the shop from you. He was trying to force you to grow into a truly capable owner in your father's stead. He probably used some tough love on you so that the shop wouldn't just go belly up. Aw, his noodly hair. I see. I never knew. Oh, Master Tonido. I'm so sorry. Keep working hard, Bucky, and pay him back by living up to his expectations. Thanks, Simon. You too, Miss Chickadee. One day my soap is gonna be so good it'll knock that old man's socks clean off. After all, I'm the 4th generation owner of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4. Well, I better get going back to my shop. I gotta get ready for the lunch rush. Hold on! Can I place an order for delivery, Bucky? Yes, Miss Chickadee. Could you deliver a bowl of udon noodles, of udon to Giru, on behalf of her master? You got it! I'll make sure it's got all the TLC Master Tonido would have packed in it too. Thank you! I'll see ya. Be sure to drop by the shop sometime. I will, and I'll bring the whole agency with me. Do us all proud, Bucky. I'll have the best soba in town waiting for you when you come. Peace out! It's nice to see somebody giving it their all, isn't it? I wonder if I've leveled up any thanks to this case. Wow, that was not the way to... That's not the cadence of that sentence. Let me try that again. I wonder if I leveled up any thanks to the case. That still wasn't right. I wonder if I leveled up any thanks to this case. There we go. Don't kid yourself. The trial would have been a spectacle and a half had I not been by your side. You don't know that. For a lawyer who's versed in psychology, you're too full of weak points. You need to learn to analyze yourself more objectively. Or you could just teach me your famous mind tricks, Simon. No. Way to shut someone down, and why not? Because the more pesky lawyers there are, the harder my job becomes. So it's in my best interest for you to remain green forever. Hey, what about what's my best interest, huh? Besides, weren't you the one who had the whole hold over your eyes by Uendo? Must you remind me? How could I have known Uendo would do time soba? Hey, speaking of time soba, I just thought of something funny. Oh, goody, I can't wait. Okay, here it is. In time soba, why didn't Mon number 9 get counted? Come on, do you know, Simon? How should I know? Because 789! Thank you, I'll be here all week. ROTFL. That I should have known. Come on, let's go get soba and something and get home. Your treat? I'll treat you to 50% of the tab. And don't forget, you still owe me for that manju. Really, Simon? It wouldn't hurt you to pay for me every once in a while, you know. Quit squawking and start walking, Athena. Hey, wait for me! I may still have a ways to go as a lawyer, but just like Mr. Wright, Apollo, and Simon before me, I'm going to get there someday. After all, I've inherited their passion for our courts and the law. Je peux le faire. I can do this. Probably butchered that pronunciation. The end. And with that... Oh, speaking of... I think I even mentioned Revolution in my recap last time. So, that was fun. I enjoyed that case. No investigation. It was very short. It was a very short case. No investigation, and apparently, I like how it has the letters for their names. That's fun. Totally lost my train of thought. No investigation and a quicker trial. but a little bit on the mood matrix, because that's fun. And it's always fun to see Athena's gimmick. I enjoy that gimmick. It was good to see Simon again. You know, it's not all gone since he left the last case. Got a little cameo here. I am a sucker for cameos. So I enjoy that. I enjoy that Maya is back. I enjoyed that Pearl was in the last game. I enjoy that Emma is back with Prosecutor Sadmati. So I was enjoying all of the little nods to the past there. And yeah, it was simple enough. It was fun enough. It wasn't like too crazily complex or long. Like, well, for example, this one was shorter than the second case, because the second case is like 3-hour episodes, but this one was shorter, so it was short and sweet, and it didn't overstay its welcome. And the characters were fun, or at least the multiple personalities of Uendo were fun. I think that Uendo is supposed to be a pun, because there were multiple personalities in Uendo. I think that's what it was going for. That's just my prediction. But anyway, when we next meet up, we are going to see. Hello, Prosecutor. Turnabout Revolution. So I'm starting to think that we are probably going to get into a little bit more trouble with the Defiant Dragons and everything that's going to be going on there. So we'll see how that goes. I think this is supposed to be a longer one. Of course it's supposed to be a longer one. Let me rephrase that. A lot of parts to this one. So strap in. We're going to finish out with many parts and a nice long case to wrap up this game. And see how it concludes, because, like I said, I remember a few little odds and ends here about the overarching narrative, but I don't remember much else. So I'm gonna strap in too and be ready to see where we go next time, and I will talk to you guys then.